Take more pleasure in the work you love with Fordham's cut-resistant gloves. These incredible 13-gauge knitted gloves offer level 5 protection for your hands while you enjoy cooking, gardening, woodworking, home and auto repairs, and more. These incredible gloves are breathable and lightweight and have an ambidextrous design, meaning you can benefit from the glove's protection whether you are right-handed or left-handed. Fordham's cut-resistant gloves come in 4 sizes because in order to get the most protection from the gloves, you need to have a correct, snug fit. A saggy, baggy fit will just not work as well. Fordham's cut-resistant gloves feel incredibly natural on your hands, and they help to improve your grip, so they allow you to work with precision. Don't go another day putting your hands at risk.
My name's John Freeman. I work in a material called ancient kauri on Waiheke Island.
My name's Matt Wilson. I'm 25 years old. I live on Waiheke Island, New Zealand. I grew up on the island and spent a lot of my time growing up fishing around the island.
Hello, my name is Virginia Thompson. I'm the owner of Flower Gallery on Waiheke Island.
I like the root systems because there's folds, there's holes, there's gum pockets. It's got so much more character and it's got a lot of colour in it as well. So that's basically what I've worked over the last maybe 25 years.
Around here I mainly fish for snapper and kingfish. I do a lot of topwater fishing with stick baits and poppers for kingfish in the summer months when the kingies are around. And a lot of stray lining with bait for snapper and also fishing with soft baits and things like that for snapper.
A florist job is very busy. It's very labour intensive. We spend a lot of time prepping our flowers ready for making bouquets.
I think Dick's Fit gloves are amazing. As soon as I put them on, they were very comfortable. They breathe. It's just like having a second skin.
Dick's Fit gloves were great for fishing. They had good rubber on the hands and good to protect your hands from spikes and cuts and things like that. They're also cut resistant, so when cutting my bait or filleting fish, I didn't need to worry so much about using my sharp knife and cutting my hands.
I like them. They're really, really comfortable to wear. I find it very useful to wear them when we're preparing the foliage, stripping the leaves off the bottom of foliage, and also when we're preparing roses.
They're not like leather gloves or anything like that. They're very sensitive.
The Dick's Fit gloves really stood up to the test on the rocks. It's quite a harsh environment, but they were really good in the salt water and on the rocks.
Dick's Fit gloves are a very light glove to wear. They're very good at grasping. The colours are very nice, and they're a good fit, nice firm fit.
the efficiency and production of our product. So we have to make sure we're getting our product through as quick as possible. So the efficiency is important. Being able to grab the parts is important when they need.
Hello, my name is Mike, and we're here in the kitchen today to talk to you about No Cry cut resistant gloves. Now, these gloves are level 5 cut resistant. It's actually 4 times stronger than that of leather. Now, you want to remember that while these gloves can handle cutting like this, or even holding the blade like that, you still really want to avoid any sort of puncturing like that, or cutting down on the fingers like this, because they're meant for really preventing any sort of mistakes. Now, I want to show you how to cut like a pro, and luckily for you, No Cry cut resistant gloves will help prevent any sort of rookie mistakes. Before we get started doing any cutting, you first want to make sure you have a nice, stable cutting board. Wobbly cutting boards can result in your knife slipping and injuries happening. To avoid that, you want to place a wet towel underneath the cutting board to help keep it stable. In addition, you really want to make sure the blade of your knife is as sharp as it can be. Because you may not know this, but the sharper the blade is, the safer it is. A sharp blade will cut easily into a food, while a dull blade will tend to jump around, and it's very easy for it to accidentally cut you. And this is why it's so important to have full control over your tools. Now, let's talk about how to properly grip your knife. If you put your finger on top of the knife, or you hold it too far back on the handle, you'll have a dainty grip, and then you'll really need to use No Cry cut resistant gloves, as you're almost asking for injury. Instead, you should put your finger and thumb at the very back of the knife and wrap your other fingers around the handle. That way you will have a firm grip and total control over your knife. It might feel a bit weird at first, but in time, it will seem like an extension of your hand. Now, the most common mistake that happens while chopping is laying your fingers out flat. Like this, you might not yet cut yourself when you have No Cry gloves on, but if you press hard enough, you might just cause some injury. Instead, you want to form a claw so that your fingers go in and the knife hits up against your knuckles as you're chopping. In this manner, your fingertips are protected the whole time and also gives you control over your cuts. Now, let me show you something I'm sure you've all struggled with: the elusive onion. Now, we here at No Cry shed no tears when cutting onions. Let me show you our secret. First, cut the onion in half through the root end and peel the outer layers. Put the onion down flat, make a claw shape with your hand, and make a few incisions horizontally into the onion. Turn it, but make sure the root is still holding everything together. Then, with your hand still in a claw position, make a few more cuts vertically. Then, turn it back and use your knuckles as a guide as you start chopping along. Just chop in a wave motion. And voila, you have a nice and even dice. When your food doesn't need to be cut into exact even pieces, just rest the tip of your knife on the cutting board and support it with your claw hand. And with your claw hand, continue chopping in a wave motion. And even when using a grater to create carrot shavings, the No Cry cut resistant gloves work perfectly to protect your hands. The gloves also help protect you when filleting fish. So, you cut behind the head all the way down to the bone, and just on one side of the spine, make a very small incision, all the way down to the end. Let your knife do the work. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure if you have a sharp knife. Don't worry if it slips, that's the reason you're wearing gloves. It should just pull itself away like so. Is that simple or what? And then afterwards, just pull out the small bones with tweezers. Then, when you're all finished, you want to wash your knife by hand, dry it straight away to prevent any chance it gets dull. never want to use a dishwasher. But the good news is, you can throw your gloves straight into a washing machine, making sure they're ready the next time around.